Hello, everyone. I hope you're good. I hope you're well. I hope you're having a good Saturday. I hope you're having a calm old time. If you've got the day off, I hope it's going brilliantly for you. If, like me, you have to work because apparently the transfer rumours, they just never stop. And so we're just forever working. Then I hope your day is going well as well and that the work process isn't stressing you out too much. But we've got a bunch of stuff to talk about today. We've got some interesting updates for some of the stories we spoke about yesterday. We have some brand new stories. Raphinha's come out of nowhere. This is a thing, the Leeds winger. We're going to talk about that. We've got an update about the 50 million striker situation. We've had some morsels of details of that and a bunch of other random stuff that we're going to get to that X and the other people who are reporting have provided us with on this Saturday afternoon. It's cold, but quite nice Saturday afternoon. But let's start with the centre-back situation so we can just shift that out of the way quickly and get to the exciting bits. Because there's not a lot to say about it. So let's just get through it. First thing is Diop to Newcastle. X has confirmed that Newcastle's interest is true. Yesterday I said I think that they've gone down their list of names and they finally got to one that they think they can get because all the others have said no, Sven Botman, people like that. I think that's what's going on. X has said that their interest is true, but has reiterated the stance that if there is no replacement, then there will be no sale. Makes sense, right? But let's talk about that replacement because there are two centre-backs being linked currently. The first one is we're still continuing the talks for Caleta-Car of Marseille. They are obviously in huge financial troubles. Gio has previously spoken about this transfer ban that may come in. I don't fully get it. I get it, but I don't fully get it. So you can go watch Gio's video about that. But yeah, they have a transfer ban coming in. So they are steadfast on this idea of it being permanent. X is saying Marseille want it to be permanent. However, we've tried again with this loan to buy thing. That's what we're interested in. We are interested in loan to buy, which is unbelievably frustrating because if they have lowered their price, and this one's winding me up, I can't lie to you. If they've lowered their price from 20 to 15, which is barely lowering anyway in Premier League terms, but screw it. Let's just say it's lowered because 15 million is more achievable than 20 to be fair, even if it is only £5 million. And we're going, we hear you, but what if we loaned him? Tell me David Sullivan's in control of transfers without telling me David Sullivan's in control of transfers. Do you know what I mean? It's the most frustrating thing in the world. And if that does collapse, the other centre-back that is being linked at the moment is Nat Phillips of Liverpool. We've heard about this one time and time again. The update from X is that he has told Liverpool he wants to leave. Doesn't surprise me. He came in very briefly when he broke into the team because every single human being at Liverpool was injured for a brief spell. And so he came in for the second half of the season, did really well. And then since then, Liverpool not only have got all of their players back, but they've also gone and bought more centre-backs. And he's had 3 games this year. I think it is 3 games this season. So it doesn't surprise me that he wants to leave. Gio has spoken previously about how he's even gone as far as to clear out his locker at the Liverpool training ground. So clearly he just wants out. X is reporting that his asking price is about £14 million. Something else that was interestingly noted by X is that his dad, quote, has a close relationship with David Moyes. What's that mean, huh? What does that mean? It means that probably we're more likely to sign him, but they go up Top Golf together. Give it a swing. He also says that the club are only weighing up a move along with other targets. So it's not like we've bid 14 million. It's that we're thinking about it. I would suspect if the Caleta-Car situation doesn't go well, he would jump straight to the top of that list. It would also not surprise me if we did end up buying Caleta-Car, we sold Diop and then went in for Phillips. If Phillips is really keen to leave, then this 14 million price may have some fluctuation. If that's the asking price, you don't just pay what an asking price is. At least David Sullivan would never do that. God forbid. God forbid. Right. Now that's all the centre-back nonsense out of the way. Get that out of the way. Let's talk exciting stuff, shall we? Let's talk about this 50 million striker thing. There's only a tiny update to this. Only a little sprinkle, right? And that is that X has confirmed it was not Dominic Calvert-Lewin. That's all we've got so far. It's just, we know it's not Calvert-Lewin. And the reason I bring this up first, well, I'll say this. So, X has said that the forwards that we are keen on at the moment are Patrick Schick, Youssef En-Nesyri, Jonathan David, Bamba Dieng, and Hugo Ekitike. Nailed it that time, didn't I? In your face. Who we'll speak about very briefly, by the way. If we got an exciting story between that and here. But it's confirmed it's not Calvert-Lewin. That's all we know right now. Now, I don't know if this is the person it's going to be. I don't know if this is the person it is. However, late last night, after the video ended, very annoyingly, because that's the way these things work out. You finish the video, you post it, and instantly some news happens. 90 Mins, Toby Cudworth and Graham Bailey reported, quote, West Ham could look to make a huge late move in the January transfer window as they prepare to test Leeds' resolve over Raphinha. Now, Raphinha's contract is coming to an end in 2024. He's currently in talks with Leeds. But since then, X is confirmed. Quote, the bid, however, was swiftly rejected and saying that Leeds want to keep him. So X is saying there was a bid. X goes on to say the situation could change, but at this stage, it's not looking likely. Then The Guardian also confirmed the bid. Jacob Steinberg over there writing, quote, it is thought that West Ham were prepared to pay a club record fee for Raphinha, and that it remains to be seen if the East Londoners will return with a higher offer, which is mad. Which is mad. I assume this is all in bonuses and installments and all that nonsense. We don't know. Something else The Guardian wrote, which I wanted to bring up because I think it makes this seem more real. There was some doubt over it, and I certainly had some doubt when I was like, really? Raphinha? Like, I like Raphinha as a player. I love him, but it doesn't seem to make sense as something we would want right now in this situation. We're looking for a striker, we're looking for this, we're looking for that. We already have Jared Bowen, who plays exactly in his position and has played the best football of his career, it feels like. I can't say how well he was playing for Hereford, but it feels like at least he's playing, it's the best football he's ever played for West Ham right now. It feels unrealistic. So I wanted to bring up this quote specifically from The Guardian. Quote, Antonio needs more support, and while Raphinha usually plays on the right, Moyes thinks the Brazil international can play a number of roles. Moyes believes Raphinha can play in the same team as Jared Bowen, who plays on the right for West Ham United. So the story there being, potentially, I don't know, does this mean Jared Bowen then becomes a de facto striker? He's played it this season and hasn't been much worse than Mikel Antonio, if we're being honest about it. Does this mean Raphinha could play up front? We saw when we faced them a couple of weeks back that he was sort of switching roles, and there were times where he was in and around the striking position. Or does this mean Jared Bowen goes to the left? Does Raphinha then go on to the left? I mean, I would love Raphinha at West Ham. I would adore Raphinha at West Ham. I think he's such a good player, but I just can't see it. I can't see it. I mean, PSG were named by 90 Mins as saying they're also basically tracking the situation. So if it doesn't go well with us, then PSG would be round the corner. And of course, Liverpool have already been interested in them. We've seen the reports previously on this channel of Bowen and Raphinha interesting Liverpool strongly. So I would adore it, but I just don't see it as being realistic. They're close to a relegation fight. I don't think they're in one yet, but they're almost at the event horizon. They could be sucked in at any moment if it goes completely Pete Tong there, although they're not currently in one, I would say. Losing Raphinha, who is, in my mind, their best player, you're looking at Raphinha, you're looking at Calvin Phillips. There's a couple of players who are really good there, but Raphinha is definitely in the upper echelon, if not the best player at Leeds. Would be an incredibly risky thing to do, even if it is for an insane amount of money. But this is the goal here. If it is for an insane amount of money, would Raphinha move to West Ham? Yeah, I think he would. I think if there weren't other clubs involved with it, if PSG or Liverpool, for example's interests weren't concrete, I think a move to West Ham wouldn't be bad for Raphinha. He's coming to a club who are doing really well in Europe right now, fighting for top four, if not further down the line than a European place in general for next season again. They've got a very exciting team. It doesn't surprise me if an idea of Raphinha would go, actually, this is a jump up for me and it's a really good stage for me to play my football. I know Leeds fans, and I apologise for this, you might find that offensive, but realistically right now you're struggling right now, and I don't think if a European club came in for him, it wouldn't surprise me. Now, realistically, if PSG, Liverpool, any other big teams like that were actually concrete in their interest, it's not happening. And that's the problem here. If we were to agree a deal, even if it was club record, let's say this was the £50 million ban, which I'm not convinced it is, but all of a sudden we have this 50 million striker bid rejected, and then we enter a club record fee for Raphinha. Those two things don't add up. We're not going to get both of those things, so there's a potential for it to be the same person, right? Even if Raphinha isn't a striker. The second we had that deal agreed, then every other club in the world knows what Raphinha's price is, and then they can go and make a bid for Raphinha. It's a difficult one. It's a difficult one. If it were to happen, I would be ecstatic, even though it's not what we need at all. I want another out-and-out winger at the club. I do want that, but I want a left back before that. I want potentially a centre back before that, and I definitely want a striker before that. So I don't think this solves any of our issues in that sense. Frustrating. We'll see how that one plays out. It's something to keep an eye on. I doubt we'll see anything more if we're already bidding a club record fee. Although David Sullivan does bid low every single time, so the chances are maybe we will go back in. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Speaking about strikers, we do have concrete interest in, though, Hugo Ekitike. Notice the way I nailed that? It's because I've learned it since yesterday. Hammers Chat regular Darmish, shout out to Darmish at Sky Sports, is reporting, quote, West Ham remain in talks over the signing of Rem striker Hugo Ekitike. Another name, this is the interesting bit, this is the new bit of news we have. Another name is Toulouse forward Rhys Healey, one to provide backup in the squad. Now, if you like me, you'd never heard of Rhys Healey before, which I wouldn't blame you. I literally had no clue this guy existed until this tweet came out earlier today. I've done some research. He is a 27-year-old striker. He plays for Toulouse. He signed there in 2020. In 50 league games for them, he has scored 27 goals, which is a decent, that's more than 1 in 2. So that's a decent hit rate. And this season, he scored 13 in 18 in the league, which is good. The caveat to all of this, of course, is that Toulouse got relegated before Healey joined them. And so all of this has been in Ligue 2. However, he has won the League Player of the Month, twice. We've signed strikers from Ligue 2 before in Diafra Sakho. He obviously did really well when he came in and then sort of dropped off. He's gone on to have a okay career as a professional footballer, sort of bouncing around other top flight clubs, nothing notable, but we've seen it can happen. And there's lots of examples of other players coming from Ligue 2 and being interesting, and making it work. The one thing I would say about this is this. There's 2 things I'll say. First of all, I had to look at his time before Toulouse, because that's also interesting, right? He started off playing in Wales. He played 2 seasons in the Welsh Second Division, First Division before making a move to Cardiff, where he started his career in England. He's from Manchester originally, but before he started his career in England. So let's just talk about his time in England. For example, the most amount of games he ever played in a single league campaign was 21. The most amount of goals he ever scored was for League One MK Dons in 1920, where he scored 11, although that was only from 18 games. This is a guy who has perennially played second choice wherever he has gone, apart from at Toulouse. He has never, ever had a league campaign go over 21 games, which is kind of wild. So we've got this kind of specialist, almost second choice striker idea. And again, reading all of this made no sense to me, right? And it's probably making little sense to you. Why the hell are we looking at this random guy who no one's ever heard of playing in Ligue 2, who's 27? So it's not even like when... It's not even like Arsenal signing a 19-year-old Guendouzi from Ligue 2. I think that was from Ligue 2. I'm not sure. And then I noticed one thing on his transfer market profile. He's represented by Unique Sports Group. Now, if you aren't sad enough like me to look into these things and you don't know who Unique Sports Group are, I'll tell you who they're run by. We can fill in the gaps. The person who owns and runs Unique Sports Group is... Will Salthouse. There we go. Tell me David Sullivan is not in control of transfers without telling me David Sullivan is in control of transfers. He's a Will Salthouse client. This screams of we need a backup quite badly. This screams of Jordan Hugo from 2 seasons. From more than 2 seasons ago, 4 seasons ago, whenever it was. Jordan Hugo, by the way, who's just been recalled by Norwich. Back in the Prem. Come on, Big George. We'll see what happens there. But West Brom have just signed Andy Carroll. What a strike partnership that could have been. Andy Carroll and Jordan Hugo. West Brom, you're missing out. The point is, this is bollocks. The point, and not in a sense of I don't believe it, in the sense that I believe it, and I think this is just stupid. But we'll see how it plays out. The other striker that's being linked currently is Eddie Nketiah. 90 Mins also have this one. Quote, West Ham have inquired over the possibility of signing Arsenal striker Eddie Nketiah, we can fill in the gaps here, on a short-term loan. However, Arsenal will only consider permanent transfers offers for the 22-year-olds. His move to Newcastle, or talks with Newcastle at least, have stalled. We're trying to sneak in with another loan bid as if that's going to work. Nope. I mean, look, I think we're going to sign Rhys Healey before we sign flipping Eddie Nketiah. And then finally, I've left him till last because I know none of us want to talk about it. All I'm going to do here is I'm just going to quote X and then we move on with our lives. Right, this is the last story today. I'm going to quote X from this one and then we'll just all move on. We'll end the video. We can all go and enjoy our weekend. I might see you tomorrow. Gia might see you tomorrow. I don't know what the plan is, but then of course Monday we'll have a bunch of live transfer shows because it is deadline day. We've got some plans in place, so make sure to come back, get involved, like the video, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Click the bell notification icon so you don't miss out on any breaking stuff. Because I'll tell you what, if we sign someone, you best believe me or someone will be here as soon as it happens to talk about it. But the final news story today comes from X and his report over on the West Ham Way. Thank you very much, X. Go check out the West Ham Way if you haven't already. Quote, on the back of stalled talks between Newcastle and Manchester United, West Ham are attempting to now reach a deal for Jesse Lingard. However, as previously reported, they are reluctant to negotiate with West Ham as a top four rival, and there are some issues to be resolved direct with the player. Let me know what you think of all the deals today. Is Raphinha realistic? Do you think this is a thing? Who do you think this mystery £50 striker, £50 million striker is? Let me know in the comments section down below. Subscribe if you're new around here. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. And hey, it's one step closer. Only a couple days left, people. Only a couple days left. Speak to you soon. Bye.